Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another exciting, riveting, and amazing Propagandacast with me, your host, Imperial Dane, the one, the only Master Propaganda Hero Psych Defender of the Fatherland, off here to a 1v1 on Mill Road. In the north it is Angreifen, fighting for America, freedom, democracy. Here with the 2nd Armored Division with infantry, mechanized, and recon support. In the south it is Jove, fighting for the Wehrmacht, Germany, Deutschland. Here with the 2nd Panzer Division with Lightning War, Mechanized Assault Defensive. And as always, a big hearty thanks to my patron supporters. Without them and the support, the Propagandacast would not be possible. So big thanks to all those other people. John, thanks for pledging on Patreon or donating my PayPal. Yes, I'm talking about that now, Basil. You can also pre-order companies free through the link in the comments and use the code STUG3G, at which point to get a cut of the sale. That can also help me out in finally just, talk about the video, spread out the words there. Got Mechanized Assault here with Assault Grenadiers, Mechanized Assault Groups, Stug 3Es, as light artillery barrage to the Tiger Tank, versus Infantry with Riveting Defensive Structures, Mortar Half-Tracks, Light Machine Gun Artillery Strikes, and the Priest. Also, my apologies for the recent days' issues with the microphone quality. Basically, Windows all of a sudden forgot I had a microphone. And basically, long story short, even when you got it back by rebooting the computer, it messed up the settings. So I'm still working a bit on that. It's a bit tricky finding the correct setting there. Particulars is like, gotta boot a lot of things up so to actually find it up properly there. So my apologies. This one should be, I think, more or less the old one, at least as close I can immediately find here. But anyways, we got Grenadiers, Assault Grenadiers here for Jove as a Trupp Rifle Squad there for Angreifen. Getting out with the Sturmgrenadiere. North the MD42 busy alongside the Pioneers. Reasons heading for the Western Munitions Point here. In the east, we got Rifle Squad coming up here for Angreifen. So far, fairly quiet opening here. Both sides just looking to see his territory. We can see that Jove is being fairly concerned about his left flank here. Moving in the machine gun to cover against there. As he sees something there on the minimap that's going on. He doesn't know if it's a Rifle Squad or Reason Squad. And obviously, the central thing to assume, of course, is it's going to be something very bad. But Angreifen has his forces elsewhere on the map here, so not quite there what Jove was expecting. Assault is running out here, ready to jump in with the MP40s and hose down some allies. Der Sturmgrenadier. Rifle Squad heading northwards here for Jove. Southeast Rifle Squad busy there. Got the centre there, 2nd Grenadier Squad there for Jove, so mix of Assault Grenadiers and Grenadiers. It is a build I prefer if I'm going to go for Mechanized Assault myself. Bit of skirmishing there. North here, Rifle Squad holding out here, Pioneers closing in, 2nd Grenadier Squad almost done there for Jove. But so far, very, very light skirmishing. Nothing particularly decisive. Of course, this might soon change as Jove is about to commit his Assault Grenadiers here. Versus Angreifen there, go immediately retreating the Rifle Squad there, as the angle there, of course, means the Assault Grenadiers get the upper hand here. And with one squad already retreating, the other one is pretty much forced as well there, because again, it's going to be 2-on-1. And particularly with the Assault Grenadiers, this is not a great engagement spot there for Angreifen. So I think Angreifen here makes the correct decision. He could have tried a second round, but the problem is he just likely suffered a lot of needless losses. And it's better than to just, launch a counterattack, in particular since the Assault Grenadiers are much worse on the defense than the offense. So it's forcing them to, defend, I think, is also tactically much wiser here by Angreifen. Rifle Squad there, we got Lieutenant Officers for Angreifen as well. Pretty fast tech there. Pioneers with flamethrowers, ready to roast some Yankees. Nega Rifle Squad is going to force them to close in there, and again off the field point. That's it. Good use of sprint here. Still charging at the Rifle Squad does mean this squad, he does get some good kills in before the Assault Guns can really pick up with MP40s. And with the other two squads running here, we do see Jove is completely forced off here. But even then, damage has been done. The fuel point has been under neutral, slowing down their Angreifen's fuel economy here. But again, we can sort of see here, by just sacrificing the fuel point, but also, just retreating, he basically just avoids any significant manpower losses, and he's able to turn the table there in Jove. So you can sort of, debate yourself whether that was worth it, but from a manpower, standpoint, tactically, it does kind of make sense. North here, Pioneers pushing forwards here. I imagine Angreifen, or Jove, will be soon taking up here. We got the 5th car there slowly on the way for Angreifen. The southeast, steady progress. Sandbags being laid down. Maybe some mines as well, who could be a good idea there for Angreifen, unless he is, of course, focusing on getting as many light machine guns out as soon as he reaches the 3 command points. Rifle grenade off there, shattering some boxes, but no Yankees. Bunker up there for Jove. Tech done, actually. But I'd like to mechanized company. Maybe he's planning panzer grenadiers. Maybe he's planning a mechanized assault group. Pioneers heading northwards there, 50 cal almost done, and we also got the mechanized command post here, so likely stood light tank next here for Angreifen. The M5A1. Brass squad moving towards the centre. Mines being laid down there, but disrupted as Jove's assault grenadiers come upon the Rifle Squad there and might go for a sprint here. That's going to be the smarter move. Instead of just sitting on a slow waltz here, I think it's just to preserve munitions, likely for the medic bunker upgrade. Yep, but still, with the Grenadier Squad as well, we do see nonetheless Angreifen is forced to retreat here. 5th Cal, that's going to put a stop there to Jove's continued assault right through the centre. At this point, it might actually be a smart idea for Jove to retreat the assault gunners and get healed up here by the medic bunker. He's also flooding a fair bit of manpower. There we go, he actually retreats there to heal them up instead of just getting them killed. But he is floating a bit of resources in without building the light mechanized company, so it is possible that Jove's actually planning to go for the mechanized assault group. I mean, he has the resources. He's very close command point-wise as well, so I mean, a sudden mechanized assault group could be a problem there for Angreifen, except he's got the Stuart light tank already underway, so the mechanized assault group will actually find himself finding a slightly rougher time ahead of it, crucially because he doesn't have the munitions for the Panzerschrecks. That doesn't mean it's going to be useless, but it could certainly give Jove there a bit of a headache. We do get a mechanized company after all, so maybe not a mechanized assault group, or Jove is considering the possibility that there's going to be a Stuart out there and he's bringing a Pack 40 as well as fast as possible. Maybe. I mean, there's definitely some interpretations here. Some interpretations available. Northern point being ceased. There we go. 2 command points ready. Again, he has the resources. No, he does go for the Pack 40, so probably not a mechanized assault group after all. Maybe a delayed one. Hard to say here. But definitely the right choice here. If he had the munitions, he could have gone still for the mechanized assault group. In which case, he just popped out the switched the Panther Grenadiers with the assault grenadiers and used them to murder from his start to half-track. Since they actually work quite well from half-tracks too. Fun fact. As a side note, German assault troops, they formed up these kind of formations here with submachine guns, likely would have been equipped with MP40s as they couldn't really spare them for that kind of thing. Typically, they used captured submachine guns like PPS-841s or Sten guns, which were quite popular with German troops as well. In fact, they converted millions of Soviet PPS-841s using German ammunition. So, little fun fact. Anyways, 2 rushing forwards here for Angreifen. Going to hit those assault guns to the south. The Pack 40 is ready. Hammering away here at Jove's southern assault troops. They're forcing them back here. Further up north here, we've got the Grenadiers for the Rifle Squad here. See us in the north and the centre. But we got the Stuart on the loose here, and that, of course, is a big problem for Jove. Got a Panther Grenadier Squad on the way here, adding some more heavy assault infantry. I think that is a good addition here for Jove. Also just nice to see some Panzer Grenadiers. But I think this also very much shuts out the possibility of a mechanized assault. Okay, sniper? Yeah, okay. All the way, that's still rushing straight for the Pioneers here. Pack 40 moving towards us, and of course to respond to this American armoured affront to German supremacy. Good shot from the Pack 40 up north. You've got the Grenadiers with the advancing Lieutenant. Lieutenant here with heavy cover, by the way, enjoys the upper hand. Not just because of the heavy cover, because the Lieutenant himself has the Thompson submachine gun, which in-game is treated as a very, very powerful weapon. He can effectively, in some cases, just win fights on his own. Since they're pushed back by the Pioneers in the south here, we got assault grenadiers for the Rifle Squad. May want to sprint in and just close in on the Yankees. Closing in mention to one there. Sniper out there for Jove. Otto there drops that. 2nd, 5th guy there for Angreifen. Bring in more suppressive firepower against those goddamn Krauts. Up north, the gun is routed as Angreifen swiftly advances their freedom and democracy. South here, the assault grenadiers end up backing off here. Guessing text indicated for Jove, or who knows what he's planning. As for Angreifen, another 5th kill obviously, but beyond that, no real indicators, except he's probably going to go for a lot of light machine guns now. He's got it unlocked, and he's got 250 munitions. That's at least 3 light machine gun upgrades, I believe, since they cost about 70. Yup. In fact, he's not too far away from 4 light machine gun upgrades. That'd actually be all of his infantry, including the lieutenant, then upgrade it, which would certainly be a challenge there for Jove's infantry. But so far, no LMGs there for Angreifen's doughboys there in the south assault moving forwards here. Eventually, 2 kills. Sprint there being neutralized. No tech for Jove and the German army here. The 2nd Panzer Division. Got the 5th cal setting up shop here, and we can see that Jove is quick to back off a bit, just in case. Stood on the move. Mines as well here by Angreifen, thumbs up. There you go, casting the assault guns anyways. Of course, worth noting, little trick when it comes to determining the actual range of machine inside the building. If you click on the building, it actually shows from it shoots from, at the center of the building, but the reality, of course, to shoot from the windows, you actually need to select the machine gun itself, team there, and actually show you a much more accurate range here. In this case, as you might notice, significantly range difference there, significant range damage, as you can see there by clicking between the two. So, bit of advice there for those not aware. Stuart, Lieutenant Route Squad here, of course, a lot of machine guns here, and there's just one squad here to go now for Angreifen, at which point he will have 4 light machine gun teams, which will definitely be tough there for Jove's infantry to deal with. He is taking out himself, though, that's very good. And some losses there inflicted as the sniper volley gets wiped by the Stuart. That's a hell of a kill there for Angreifen. And a hell of a loss for Jove. Particularly since the sniper really hadn't done anything, so that's a hell of a loss there in that sense for Jove. Well, Lieutenant Flankamp going to go for the carve point. We do have the MD-42 ready, at least Jove foresaw that. He's also bringing a mortar here to apply some artillery-based pressure here on Angreifen. Mines further going down here for Angreifen, thumbs up. Up north, gun is busy there. Tech down as well, can build the light or support armor core and then push for some medium armor. There we go. Panzer into Stutzung's corpse, 50 cal there. And we got the 5th cal around the center. Angreifen, meanwhile, himself is also turning up, but he is going to be behind here in fuel compared to Jove due to the Stuart, and Jove not really going for any light vehicles at all. So Jove will definitely have the advantage there in medium armor over Angreifen, and of course, Angreifen currently has no anti-tank weapons. No anti-tank guns, he doesn't even have like bazookas because A, he hasn't unlocked the weapon racks, but of course he spent all his munitions right now on light machine guns. So this is actually a pretty good opportunity for Joe to do some heavy damage there to Angreifen by just pushing out for a fast Ostbund of Panzer IV here. Like all he's got really at this point is the Stuart and the shell shock to at least slow down any armor from from Jove, and he's showing that Jove doesn't overrun Angreifen. But that is about it really. Both squads upgraded their light machine guns, leaving just the assault guns to be equipped with a veteran squad leader. Up north here, Route Squad advancing there for Angreifen, Freedom and Democracy. And further up north here, Gunners was the light tank here, 2 kills, veterans who won. Southeast barway, well, there's still that barway which can block off a push towards the fuel point. Of course, the mortar could very well assist with that. Panzer IV there for Jove, very much as expected, thumbs up. He could, of course, drive in the Ostwind here. I think that would have quite a shock impact there on Angreifen. But that said, I don't fault him for just, wanting out a Panzer IV. It is, the safe choice there for Wehrmacht players. Nice middle ground. So hardly to fault there. Still rushing in there. 2 kills, veterans who won. Still hasn't really achieved much more than just killing that sniper. Still rushing forwards here. More mortar fire here. So far, Angreifen's really leading well here versus Jove, getting control of the map. Fuel punts also soon to fall into Angreifen, though again, Jove has that Panther IV, and a lot, I think, of Jove's hopes right now are riding on that Panther IV. Not directly, since, of course, the tank riding mechanic is not in Company 2, so literally his hope can't ride on it yet. But, it's in a more metaphorical sense. Panzer was the Route Squad engaging in the main gun, should of course add the pin-mounted MD-42 as soon as possible. Route Squad 3 retreating in the face of the German Panzer advance here, as Jove and the 2nd Panzerdivision leads the way forwärts für Deutschland. Meanwhile, though, Angreifen has most of the map. He's got the victory point lead. He's about to have the fuel lead in a big way here. Jove is in a very sticky and uncomfortable position. And I'm not talking attending one of, Hammond Goring's parties. Back here, reinforcing healing. I'm going to go for Shim's also feeling quite a bit of manpower, to be honest. That is a bit questionable. Could go on for finding positions, caches, like anything, I think, rather than just float that much manpower. Definitely, I think, gives Jove more time to, actually catch up with Angreifen, since, again, just having that much manpower doing nothing obviously means he's also not using that to apply direct pressure to Jove, either in terms of combat or economics. MG42 there on the way though for Jove. More machine gun firepower to hold down Angreifen's infantry's faces. And Angreifen bringing a mortar of his own. A very solid choice there. They could have that up much sooner. But there you go. Push with the Ralph Squad to mortify the ring down here close to Ralph Squad, but they are easily able to sidestep that one and avoid getting their face filled with the splinters. Back here, mortar almost done, Sherman almost done, Stood getting ready again here. He could switch up the Sherman and Stood crew. We'll have to see if he actually does that. Panda for the strikes the center, and we can see there panic spreads amongst Angreifen's men as they are just forced retreat in the face of the German Panzerwaffe. And there you go, Sherman M4 fleet tank out here for Angreifen and freedom. Pantherful keeps up the assault here, pushing back the Stuart light tank here. Mortar crew now in the danger zone here as everything else is pretty much retreating, except the units here who are being suppressed. Sherman running 40 here, 50 cal almost done there for Angreifen's Sherman. In the south here, 50 cal defend the fuel point here as Joe probes forward for the Pioneers. Bit of skirmishing here. We'll have to see what Joe's planning next. So at least for now, not tier 4, but I would not be surprised if you do end up seeing tier 4 here. Pantherful shot bounces. Sherman just straight up misses. Pantherful misses for the second shot as well. There we go. Pantherful finally gets a shot through, damaging the Sherman tank there. Sherman just keeps hitting the same stack of hay. There we go. Finally got a shot through there, then disengaging. Pantherful close to Veterans 1. Very close up north. The assault grenades versus 2 assembled infantry squads. Mortar firing down as well. He will need to treat them though. Worth noting, he has upgraded with an assault leader there. Thumbs up there. Then straight into a mine and loses almost the entire unit. That's great. Stuart Pack 40. Pantherful clashing around the center here. Angreifen Stuart light tank gets pushed back. Bazooka teams also sent packing here as the second M42 team now reveals its presence and does so by hosing a lot of Americans with a good old amount of German lead. Finishes Rob Scott Lieutenant trying to push on the fuel point here, but Jove is quick to respond here to Angreifen's sneaky flank assault there. More Pioneers on the way for Jove to help repair his armor faster and more consistently. Thumbs up. Always a smart idea. Still no sign of his next move. Could of course go for Stu, but I think Jove is more like just push for more Panzer IVs. Part because it's not like Angreifen currently's possession of like a significant armored threat that would really necessitate it. So I could just see Joe taking to more Panther Force. I mean, he could sneak in a Stuk E to help deal with infantry support weapons, plus provide smoke. I mean, the Stuk 3 definitely has a lot of utility, which can, I find, get overlooked by some players. North here, Ralph squabbling about there for Angreifen. Plus, if you do ever run into a player like who likes to, like, you know, bunch up a lot of infantry, the Stuk 3 in particular, pair of them, is actually, like, quite good at punishing those kind of strategies, I find. Pantherful out there, 5 kills, Veterans 1 up north here. Points being sandbagged, dug in here by Angreifen's men fiercely and Americansly. Push back the Ralph squad up north here, threatening the Pantherful in the centre. Sherman northwards here. Stuart joining in as well here. Blazing with the guns, but there you go. Pack 40 at the ready. Grenadiers are suffering the ultimate price here as they get torn to shreds here by intense fire there from Angreifen's armour. Still flooding manpower here, still not going for caches or finding positions. And further up north here, Jove is slowly rooting out the Angreifen northern positions. Baker Company there is finding Charlie's squad there being pushed back. In the centre there, we got the Brav squad pushed back by the Pioneers and the other supporting elements there. Pantherful with the damaged engine will need repairs, but it's also close to Destiny 2. A lot of action across the centre north, but the east-south here, or southeast, is seeing no real fighting. And there you go, pushing for that Pantherful here, willing to brave the Pack 40, but this could prove to be a tactical misjudgment here by Angreifen that could cost them the Sherman. Possibly, maybe not. We also, in fact, have bazooka teams now here for Angreifen. Unfortunately for Joe, most of the bazooka teams have found the rockets at non-armoured targets. But there you go, they're still on the move. They're going to go for that Panther 4. Can they take out here Joe's Panther 4? Or will Joe be able to salvage his tank here from the bazooka grasp here of Angreifen? Fortunate for him, though, the American gunner's aim is proving to be quite rubbish. And there you go, full whack with the bazooka dropping down there. My God, what is this? I believe the Americans call it a bazooka. Why would you call it something so stupid? Panzerschreck, that's what it is. Even another Sherman there for Angreifen. The assault gun is by near the east level. There we go, another Panther 4 for Jove. The German Panzerschreck was pretty much based off the American bazooka, which is a larger version of it, really. Although initial versions had some issues, which required gas masks and gloves to handle, though they later figured out they could do that with just a small shield there. And it was the soldiers of the squad here, hosing them up closer with MP40s. Ace level gain, mortify their trouble as well for the lieutenant. That said, the assault companies will have to retreat in the face of such stubborn resistance here from Angreifen. And the Americans pack forward there. And the armoured division there. 2nd Armoured, Lieutenant pushing gun the DSE. Panther 4 number 2 almost on there for Jove and for Germany. So there you go, fresh Sherman out. There's going to be a total of 2 medium tanks here for Angreifen and the light tank. Definitely giving him a small numerical advantage there over the Germans. But can Angreifen fully leverage that here versus Jove? South flank here is actually quite open. Like a Stud moving in here could be quite helpful. Or a larger push with 2 Shermans could basically unhinge the entire southern flank here for Jove. Meaning like threaten some weapons here. But would require a lot of speed and focus for Angreifen to pull it off, so it may not be quite as feasible there as I make it sound like. 5th covers the Panther 4, Mortar nearby at it, and there goes Sherman striking straight at the Panther 4. Pack 40 there, altered by low health. Back up base reinforcing. Panther 4 gains the Schützen, Veteran T2. Panther 4 narrowly escapes to the wrath of the Shermans as Angreifen goes for a Sherman steamroller assault here, pummeling away the German positions. Jove's men frantically clanging to any cover they can find there as the Americans unleash everything. But there you go, a diversionary assault here on the southeast flank, threatening the field point, is forcing Angreifen to pull away the Shermans from the centre assault here. A smart move there by Jove, assuming this was meant as a diversionary assault here. Either way though, Angreifen takes the bait here, begins pursuing this Panther 4 there, giving up the assault in the centre there. Thumbs up. He might lose the Panther 4, at which point obviously it's going to be a lot less great here, but it does seem working out. The Pack 40 ready, Panther forming as well here. Could cost them here. We got artillery called in there by the Major, but it's doing nothing to the Germans. Unless they really like those flowers. Which, I mean, they probably didn't. Like, I doubt, it's going to come on through the Wolfschanz with the report, mind you. So, as Petunia, as you like the Normandy, the Americans have ruined them? Mein Gott! I will never forgive the Americans! Never! So yeah, probably not that's happening. In terms of impact, so yeah, just a waste of barrage there. Up north, the lieutenant pushing forwards, backed up with the Ralph squad laying down mines, stood resting 40, assault can be his caught here. Could maybe grab the bazooka on them, they'll obviously want to keep them at full strength for assaulting and shooting Americans. Ralph squad there being absolutely held by the assault grenadiers there. Ripped apart there by sharp, accurate MP40 fire. 3 kills on the American mortar. South side here, we can see there, Jove pressuring here on Angreifen southern flank. Sherman's being fixed up, their crews hard at work, putting it all together. Might really want to switch in that some of the Stuart crews here, one of the Sherman crews. They get those Sherman crews much higher veterancy faster. Always a cagey smart move. North East also going forward again, pushing 40 for Deutschland, 12 kills, ace level. In the south there, Ralph squad advances, though they are low and healthy, so this could be a mistake by Angreifen. Could be a big mistake, and I think Angreifen realises it's order to retreat. Got plenty of manpower fuel, could go for another Sherman, could go for Jackson, he could even go for a priest. You could also just go for a bunch of mortar half-takes, honestly. But there you go, instead we get a 3rd Sherman here for Angreifen, more armour being unleashed here upon the Germans. Mortar there with 2 kills. Panther 4 they're fixed up. 3rd Sherman slowly ramming there for Angreifen. Shot fired, hammering into the building there. Sherman almost done there. Panther 4 straight to bazooka team there. First shot doesn't do too much, but the two follow-up shots definitely do the trick here. Sherman's on the move here, going straight for the Panther 4, of course, crucially targeting the one that is more easily destroyed. Shot prioritization of Angreifen, but in this case it is still able to get away there. Panther 4 the veterancy. Now drawing the attention here of Angreifen's assembled forces here, taking some damage, but the extra armor, of course, is helping absorb some of the shots there. But in the end, he will have to disengage the Panther 4 unless he intends to throw it away, which obviously would be throwing it away, and thus a waste of resources and experience at this point. Closing on the ace level. For those wondering, did the armored side skirts actually work against bazookas? Yes, they did. Although they figured out they could actually just do with just wire mesh, because they didn't actually need full armored plates to really stop it. In fact, nowadays in modern tanks, you actually still see some make use of some kind of side skirts, but again, not full steel plates like that, where you absorb some, RPG shots and whatnot. So a little fun fact there. They weren't super popular for the crews. I guess, though, they changed that mind when the bazookas came about, because they were also kind of heavy, and they actually made the tanks a bit harder to, move about there. But, again, if they actually help bazookas, again, I imagine they would like to keep them around, because they're willing to put a lot of the stuff in the tanks to help them keep them safe, so... you see typically like sandbags and all the other stuff there, so I imagine the inside armored side skirts would have probably sticked around once bazooka stuff became more prevalent. Anyways, 3 Shermans and a Stuart. That is a lot of tanks here from Angreifen. Meanwhile, for Jove, I'm definitely getting the sensation he's going to go for the Tiger tank, at which point we're going to be looking at a real big armor battle here between Jove and Angreifen, possibly. I mean, I'll still get one before the Tiger tank arrives, but I'll wait, racing with the Shermans here, looking to apply pressure on Jove. He's probably at this point, of course, figuring that Jove is going for the Tiger tank, so I imagine Angreifen's strategy right now is to apply much more aggressive pressure to make this very painful for Jove to save up for. That said, Jove, I think, is doing a fairly good job there, slowing down Angreifen's assault and trying to, rob them of strength and momentum, so they can't really, threaten his plan to go for the Tiger tank. Has he actually researched Tier 4? He has not, so that's actually a bit of further delay there before we can call in the Tiger tank here for Jove. You can soon go for a 4th Sherman, I suppose, or say up for a Jackson. Going to use in the center being absolutely multi with the Rascal Lieutenant. Panther 4, though, keeps the front line safe. Panther 4, they're almost fixed up. Fifth Cow is the Panther 4 on the south here. We got the Lieutenant, the Pioneers, rest of the 5th Cow. There we go. 2 Shermans good to go. He has also, by the way, actually switched out one of the Sherman, or Stuart crews here, one of the Sherman crews. Thumbs up there to Angreifen as well. Very nice to see that. You can see that suddenly means an instantly veterancy 2 Sherman tank there for Angreifen. Very nice there, obviously. Very nice. So 2 thumbs up there to Angreifen, actually. It's pretty rare to see someone doing that. I typically find, it can be quite powerful, suddenly have, a veterancy 2 tank to start with. Pioneers being pushed back at Bazooka Fire, though, completely whips on the Panther 4 here, which is near the ace level. That is definitely dangerous there for both Angreifen's infantry and armor. He's got the command points, he's got the resource more or less, he just, needs to take up. At which point it's going to take a bit longer, but he's, very close to the Tiger tank here. And Angreifen, I think, at this point, has also gotten a bit too obsessed around these 2 points, which is much harder for him to, really leverage those Sherman tanks effectively. The smart move would actually be to attack through the western fields, which is going to be much easier for him to make use of 3 tanks, maybe in 4 tanks at the same time. It's either that he's going to have to attack through here, which is still a bit trickier, but I think much more viable than trying to attack through here, which is not great, lots of tanks country. So I definitely recommend Angreifen, finding another approach with the Sherman tanks, because right now he's definitely, I think, limiting, the actual, amount of damage he can do to Joe by just choosing to attack with them straight through, the narrowest points on the map. Rafting it there, and the mortar almost wipes it out entirely. Panther 4, the fighting at the mortar. Media there, Bazooka Fire and the Panther 4. Sherman's at the ready here for Angreifen. Panther 4 getting to 2, more Schützen added. Up north here we got the right squad pushed back here, but the MB42 nearing in on the ace level. So yeah, Jove still not taking up. I guess he just doesn't feel like he needs a Tiger tank, but could just, go for more Panther Force then. I'm not entirely sure what's going on here. It could also just be completely forgotten about. It's like just wondering why he can't click on the button. Why can't I call in the Tiger tank? You need to press the other button, Herr Oberleutnant. What other button? I just want to call in my Tiger. I'm not here to press too many buttons. Okay, he's finally doing it. He's finally going for tier 4 here. Meanwhile, we got there Joe's Panther Force up this sorting again. We can see now he's actually going for that, sort of thing I mentioned there, attacking from a place where it's much more easy, like, leverage the numbers here of his tanks without necessarily getting bogged down too easily. Though there's still note by the way here, a Pack 40 more in the COC in-depth defense position. So this is the front line, but we've got a rear line here. So when he tries to actually make a breakthrough here, the Pack in this in-depth position ensures this actually is not going to go smoothly there for Angreifen as he'd like to. That said, if he goes for deep enough flank, he actually get around the Pack 40 here, which again further highlights, the value in going for deep flank. That said, Sherman taking heavy hits here. Tiger tank is soon there. Sherman taking heavy damage. He almost got the Panther Force smoke deployed, and the Pack 40 thumbs up there. Sherman's there, got one of the Panther Force. One Sherman's done, but there's still 2 Shermans to go there. The other Panther Force to go down, of course. Another benefit here, of course, is the radio network bonus here, as, of course, increases the rate of fire of the Sherman. So, they can really lay down a lot of fire here in this assault. But there you go. Really lucky Panther Force there, bouncing several shots. Now the Tiger tank into the field. His shots bouncing off that one as well here. That is some rather rubbish like they're Angreifen to a degree, though. He still got rid of the ace. 5th cal there, also got into a really awkward spot there. Too much happening there for Angreifen, lost track of a few things. Now the Tiger tank is punching 40 for Deutschland. Jackson is on the way here. Center could be seized here, north side could be seized here, so not terrible, though. I'm actually surprised he didn't push in the Stuart because, the shell shock, or even the crippling shot here, could have been quite useful to further assist this assault here. So I'd probably rate as my minor critique here for Angreifen. They did not, commit the Stuart to the Sherman assault there, as the utility could have provided. Could have maybe allowed him to finish off that other Panther Force as well, in which case Jove would have been, I'm thinking, a bit tougher spot here. But again, minor critique here. Assault guns are charging in here. Jove launching them forward here to push back those verdammte Amerikaner. South here, assault guns go straight for the southern vector point. 153 to 293. Angreifen definitely has the lead there still. And there you go. M36 action tanks already. Sherman's being fixed up. Their crews hard at work sorting it out. Wondering where the hell did those mechanics go? Jackson coming out there. 5th coming center against Grandiers here. Jackson tank from the north against the Tiger tank. Good shot there. Bazooka finally landing off a shot there as well. Another hit in the Tiger tank there from the Jacksons. 9mm gun. They're making short work of the Tiger tank's front llama. Stuart racing force. Actually got a shell shock there. Blinding the Panther 4 in the south here. Routes caught with the assault gunners, but do manage to push them back here. Sherman's on the move again here for Angreifen. One very close to the ace level here. Well, he considered actually switching one of the Sherman crews with the Jackson crew now, actually. I mean, that could be an idea, honestly. To unlock the HVAP rounds faster, which do get increased damage and penetration, which would be very helpful as the Tiger tank, by the way. Push forward for the Sherman. She's displacing with those goddamn Krauts. Those being hammered. We've got mortifying down the Shermans. Not obviously going to do a lot there. Got 150, 250 Shermans rolling forwards here. Jackson on the move as well here. Direct hit from the Tiger tank there. Pants 4 flanking the Shermans. Sherman's backing off. Jackson probing ahead here. Bit of a standoff across the center here between Jove and Angreifen. Into pushing for the south here. Good shot from the Jackson right through the Panther Force front llama. Machine they're being hammered by the Shermans. Close being pushed back here as Angreifen pressures forwards here. Unleashing the arsenal of democracy here upon Jove. Still got Jove here just fighting back here. Panther Force close to the east. There goes Jackson getting veterans one as it punches through. And Jove here, of course, committing to his one true Lord and Savior, the Sturmgeschütz 3 aus von G here. Push back against those verdammte Amerikaner. 2 thumbs up to Jove if he actually sticks through with it and doesn't just cancel it. So let's push back the route squad here. 15 killed for Deutschland. I'm going to soon go for another Sherman. In fact, I think I'd like to do that already now. Though, of course, versus the Tiger tank, he might consider another Jackson instead. We got 153 versus 235. Solgan's doing a bit of spotting there for the pack crew. Tiger tank being fixed up. Pantherphone being fixed up as well. The Stug almost done here. He is, in fact, going for the Stug. And there goes Sherman gaining the ace level here for Angreifen, but then proceeds to get hammered here by the Pack 40, which gains Veterans 1 and the target weak point ability. Target tank almost fixed up in the south here. We got the gunners with the rifle squad there. Sherman stripping forwards here. Stug setting out and the pinlock machine gun. Mortifying the advancing Americans. Panther flying away their east level. Another shot there going off. Stug around to support as well here. Great shot there. Tank through the throng of Americans there. Like a hot German knife for American butter. Target tank is good to go there. Once more. Being fixed up here, bit of quiet here. Jackson all between repairs. We got a second Jackson here for Angreifen. We got 146 with 235 here. Looks like the army engagements will only intensify here. Jove meanwhile is a full pop cap, and he can pop up his crews to make more room for other tanks. There you go. Jackson lands a great shot on the Panther 4 there. Half 8 Veteran 2. 146 with 235. Assault Grenadiers moving on the center there. Pack 4 lands a good shot on the Jackson tank destroyer. I'll deploy some smoke around here. I'll bombard the 5th cal. We'll have to see what he actually does. Jackson number 2 almost done here for Angreifen. Mortifying the Grenadiers. Got a kill there. Need to pop out another crew before calling the Jackson. Oh, not actually. There we go, though. Our way, that's 2 Jackson, 2 Sherman and Stewart. That is a significant armored force here for Angreifen. Titan up against the advancing infantry. Assault guns standing their ground as Angreifen loads every high explosive shell and 50 cal shot. He's got those goddamn crap bastards. Sherman falling back here in the south end, pushing forwards right into waiting Grenadier squad here with 24 kills to the name. 146 for 118. Stug there's half 8 veterans you won. Tiger tank is veterans 1. So that means Blitzkrieg there. There's a hell of an armoured armada assembled here. Can Jove destroy this, or will the Jacksons be the end of him? Alongside the Shermans, obviously. Yeah, so theoretically, like, if he were to strike now, he could maybe like do some damage here to Angreifen in theory. There you go, though. Getting them crewed out. Until he called in on the Pack 40. Oh, actually, on the Pack 40, it seems. 200 points left here for Jove. Angreifen versus Jove. Got the East Panther going for the last one on the south here. Seeing the Shermans northern part, Jackson's on the southern part. Looks like it could be a pinch maneuvering planned here by Angreifen. That said, though, it's not without its risks depending on the terrain. The fact he's sending in the Jacksons on their own, since they are definitely on their own. There you go. Student knocked out in the center here. Underestimated their Jove's anti-tank guns. Also, like, right now, it means, like, theoretically, Jove could defeat Angreifen in detail here, but since, you know, while he does technically have more tanks, he split them up, meaning that he's got, will separately actually be, like, you know, outnumbered by Jove were to attack. And there goes Sherman tank from the north here, but again, with limited support here. And similarly, the Jackson's also a bit under support in the south here, so I'm not entirely sure it's split up like that. Oh, we got the Jacksons going for the Tiger tank here. 146, 186. Sherman tank from the north here. Looks like they're going to try and flank the Tiger tank here. Jove is definitely not exploiting this opportunity. There you go, though. Targeting him with the Jacksons first round. The Sherman's been. They're going to take the full brunt here of German fire. There you go. Jackson down. Suddenly again, Angreifen's numbers are dropping. Shermans are fine on the move. He began to call in again, but I feel like this could have been executed better by Angreifen. Still, could still be a win here for him, but it's also not impossible. This could cost him the game here. Jackson's or Sherman taking a hit from the Tiger tank. Stuke here going for the Jackson. Could load a heat shell there. Pack 40 also something on the Jackson. Almost got it. Panther 4 there. Probably should join in the fight by now. Almost got the Jackson tank. So here the situation's really turning sour here. And there you go. Angreifen loses his second tank destroyer. Sherman's now only against the TIE tank, the Stuke, and the Panther 4 Ace. Assault grenades here ripping through Angreifen's infantry here. Sherman's going for the kill here on the TIE tank. One ace, one almost ace. Panther 4 running on the scene here. Stuke turning around here. Good lord. There we go. Everything's exploding. Stuke kaput. Tiger tank Vetsy 2 there. Sherman going for the killer, but the Sherman is on fire. Huge losses here, and Angreifen concedes the fight. A brutal end fight here between Angreifen and Jove. Really close there, but I feel like Angreifen tactically starts to, I think, really get his plans to actually plan out there, or play out the way he'd imagine them in his head. But still, really exciting fight. He was some great armor action by the end, so hope you enjoyed it. Hope you learned something from it. If you did, subscribe, like, share, comment. Consider donating on Patreon. This is Imperial Links. Cheers. Thank you for watching. I'll tomorrow again for another episode. Bye.